have Dr. Mark Richards with us here on the Talkback this evening from the ProMedica Heart and Vascular Institute. And there's a lot of things happening around here that I personally wasn't aware of when it comes to things like defibrillators and patients you work with. Yeah. Give us an idea about some of the trials and the new things that are happening that are starting right here in Toledo.
Yeah, we're really very excited. You know, I think it's important to understand that Northwest Ohio and Northwest Ohio cardiology in particular has played a pivotal role in defibrillator and arrhythmia trials now for more than 10 years, in fact. The Made It 2 trial, which was a landmark trial several years ago that actually expanded the indications for defibrillators for the prevention of sudden death in people. We were one of the top 3 enrollers in the entire country for that trial. So we have a long tradition, and we're excited about continuing that.
Okay. And then you were talking about defibrillators earlier, and part of what your research is appropriate and inappropriate shocking. Well, what does that mean for people?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. So as arrhythmia specialists, we feel rather passionate about putting devices in people to prevent sudden death. As you may or may not know, sudden death is estimated to take 300,000 to 400,000 lives a year, more than breast cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, and AIDS combined.
And that's very surprising. I mean, so your research is much more prevalent than some people might imagine.
Yeah, and I think we probably suffer a little bit from a PR or a public relations perspective in that regard. The trial that we're currently conducting at Northwest Ohio and at ProMedica Heart and Vascular is the ICES-ICD trial, one of several trials we're running, and it's actually aimed at evaluating the efficacy of a new programming algorithm to determine whether or not we can actually minimize inappropriate shocks that patients may receive from their defibrillator while retaining the ability to save them. So patients may receive a shock for a rhythm that's very fast, very irregular, but that may in fact may not have been life-threatening. And as you can imagine, shocks hurt, they're very painful. There are some studies that show that they enhance your chances of suffering from depression and the like. And so we want to really, while it's very important to put these devices in to protect people from having a very poor outcome, I think it's equally important to try to maximize patients' quality of life. And so this is one of many efforts that we're engaged in to try to achieve those goals.
So with all the work that you're doing specifically here in Toledo, do the people of Toledo kind of have a leg up on some of the procedures out there that maybe people outside the Toledo community don't have the advantage of?
I think that's a fair statement. I mean, we have 5 board-certified electrophysiologists or arrhythmia specialists in our group alone. And so I think that's part of the power, if you will, of having a large group of cardiologists where you can have specialists in intervention if you needed an angioplasty, or arrhythmia specialist if you need an AF ablation for atrial fibrillation, or if you need a defibrillator. And because of that, and because we're very excited about continuing our long-standing tradition of participating in research, I do think that there are several instances where we're able to offer therapy technology at an earlier stage that might otherwise not be available in the community.
Good. So, I mean, it sounds like some amazing research is happening here. Dr. Richards, we thank you very much for your time. It sounds like you're a busy man, and you will be here in the future as well.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you very much for your time. And that's your Talk Back.